Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Karpo Gaming and another Destiny 2 Season of the Haunted video. Glitched Xur is back in the tower, so it's time for us to see what Glitched Xur has for us today. So once again, thanks for watching everybody. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Now, Glitched Xur is only going to be here for a few hours, so make sure you head over there if you want to pick up some of his lovely items. For today, August the 16th, 2022, on Reset. Happy Reset, my Guardians, and happy Glitched Xur. Now, Xur is back in the tower, so we're going to hop on over here. We're going to finally see what Xur has for us today. So yeah, let's get started. Now, as always, Xur has returned the illustrious, illuminous, exotic engrams. You can get after all of those old exotics. Now, of course, we have two returning random rolls, one for the Hawkman, one for the Dead Man's Tail. Let's go over them. For the Hawkman, we have Fluted Barrel, which is not bad. We got an LOA magazine, snapshots, which is always pretty good for pretty much any weapon, and texture grip, making this a pretty fantastic roll. Not a god roll, but a pretty decent roll for the Hawkmoon. And if you don't have it, pick it up and add it to your collection. Next up, we have the Dead Man's Tail Scout Rifle. Now, the Dead Man's Tail Scout Rifle have some rather interesting perks, so let's go over them this week. We have Full Born for Glitched Xur. This week, we also have Flared Magwell, and of course we have returning that 4 times the charm trait and short action stock, making this a pretty fantastic roll for the Dead Man's Tail. Once again, not a god roll, but hey, it's still a fantastic roll for the Dead Man's Tail. Next up, we have our legendaries, so let's check them out. Now, for our lovely legendaries this week, we have the Lumpsome Sidearm. Now, the Lumpsome Sidearm, precision frame 260, which is in a pretty good spot. So yeah, it's not a bad sidearm. Definitely highly suggest you check it out. This one comes with arrowhead break, as well as fluted barrel, armor piercing round, and high cal rounds, as well as outlaw trait, and last but not least, opening shot with the ranged masterwork, making this a pretty fantastic roll. In the hands of a right guardian, it can be deadly. No, it's not a god roll, but it's a pretty good roll. Still should be pretty good in PvE, and of course, pretty good in PvP, so long as you hit your shots. Next up, the 7th Server Carbine Auto Rifle is going to be up next. 450 RPM precision frame on this bad boy. Let's go over it and see if it's good, because you need a lot of good things working for this one to be a great auto rifle. So for this one, we have stability masterwork is working off already good. We got loveliness with high cal rounds, so between these two you want to keep it right there. Hit fire grip and rangefinder to round it off, and not bad at all. It's not a god roll, not at all, but it still should be pretty good in PvE, and in PvP 450s need a buff for me, so hard pass. Next up, the Grid Skipper Pulse Rifle is up next. This is going to be a lovely 540 RPM rapid fire frame, so yeah, it's going to be hitting pretty freaking fast. This one has a range masterwork, so we're already starting off really good. We got arrowhead break, as well as polyacting a little rifling, so not bad. A little bit more stability and a little bit more range. Got some things here. Ricochet rounds, Flared Magwell heating up, and snapshots, which means we almost have a god roll if you can swap out that heating up. Although heating up is still not a horrible trait. Still, this should be a pretty good roll and still be pretty good in PvE and in PvP, as long as you hit your headshots. Next up, the Toil Trouble Shotgun is up next. 60 RPM aggressive frame, hard hitting, high recoil, and of course that impact sitting at 80, so it's going to hit like a tank. Let's go over and see if we got some good rolls. We got smooth born on this bad boy, as well as corkscrew rifling, so keep it right there. We got assault magazine, accurized round with a little bit more range, so between those two, not bad, because you definitely need some range on here. Threat detector and outlaw to round it off, making this more of a hybrid roll leaning toward the PvE side of things. But then again, in PvP, you hit them and they fall down, so pretty good. Pick it up, add it to your collection. Next up, the Truth Teller Grenade Launcher is up next. 90 RPM lightweight frame with a handling masterwork with hard launch linear compensator, so starting off pretty decent, because we have not blinding grenades but spike grenades, which is going to boost up our blast radius. So between that spike grenades and that very first perk that we have, we're sitting in a pretty good spot for this lovely rocket launcher. So long as you got spike grenades, you can get one-shot kills in PvP. So between hard launch and that, you're sitting in a pretty good spot. It's not a god roll, But hey, you're going to have a good time with it in PvE and in PvP. To round it off, we have Grave Robber, and to make it more of a PvE role, we have Disruption Break. So it's a total hybrid role, more towards the PvE side of things with the handling masterwork, but you know, not bad at all. Next up, the Interference. VI is up next. This grenade launcher is a 120 RPI adaptive frame, reliable and sturdy, but it doesn't have good perks. We got volatile launch countermass, thermoplastic grenades, as well as augmented drum, clown cartridge, which is actually pretty good, and swashbuckler, which is good, and velocity masterwork, which is good for grenade launchers, but that's it. So it's a hard pass for me. Now, last but not least, the Stars and Shadow Pulse Rifle is up next. 340 RPM, high impact frame, slow firing, high damage. Let's go over the traits. Diagonal rifling, small bore, so keep it right there for a little bit more range. Extended mag, alloy magazine. Depending on how many of those lovely crucible ranks you got, you're going to have some different traits right here. This one intrinsically comes with that lovely quick draw. We also have Vorpal weapon on here, which is pretty freaking fantastic. And to round it all off, we have that lovely trait that comes with Stars and Shadow called One Quiet Moment. So all in all, it's not a horrible roll, not a god roll with the stability masterwork, but still be pretty fantastic in PvE and in PvP so long as you hit your headshots. Next up, we have the Lost Pacific set. Now this is exciting because Titan Planet is not here in Destiny 2 anymore. This is the only place you can get this set. So it's pretty good for transmog, and it's not a horrible looking set. The gloves aren't horrible, and they was pretty cool when they first dropped. Where it's at, it's all about that helmet. So for the Lost Pacific set, if you are looking for transmog, not bad. Total of 60 for the gloves, hard pass for me. The chest piece, total of 61, high roll of 19, hard pass for me. But let me show you what it looks like just in case you want to pick it up for transmog. And not bad at all. Definitely have an astronaut theme going for the Lost Pacific set. Alright, so for me, it's a hard pass. But for transmog, not bad. Of course, the bond's going to be the bond, and it's a horrible looking bond. So for me, I'm out. But the helmet is where it's at. The Lost Pacific helmet totally looks like your NASA astronaut helmet for sure. So this is definitely one to pick up for transmog. Does not matter what the stats is, but we have a total of 60 on their high roll of 19 on the strength. And last but not least, to round it off, we have the boots, total of 62, high roll of 17. So out of all of them, this one's stats is not horrible, but for transmog, it's decent. So there you have it, my guardians. This is what Glitched Xur have for us once again for this week. Now, remember, he's only going to be here for a few hours, so make sure you get out there and pick these items up if you didn't get a chance to pick them up last week. But for right now, that's pretty much going to for the video. As always, I'll be seeing you in the next one. I'll be back again streaming on Friday for Glitched Xur. Hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.